Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us in the sets.
Morning, Charlene.
Some familiar faces and some new faces. Hi, Diane. I see you waving. Oh, and clapping. Thanks. Very good. Okay, so I have my screen to share. Where won't that go? There it goes. Can everybody hear me okay? Good, okay. I seem kind of deaf to myself because I can't hear myself in my headphones. Okay, so as the first screen suggests, we're going to have hopefully demystify Club Runner. People get stuck on the first page and don't want to click very much further, but I assure you, clicking around Club Runner is most beneficial. So I chose Mary Turner in Rotary Club of Olds, Mary, who you just heard from, as a sample to show everybody around the Rotary Club of Olds. So first of all, when you get to your Club Runner page, it'll have your club's information on the front page. Up in the right-hand corner, you would have seen member area up here. You click on login, member login. It would take you to the login page. It would be right here in the middle with your username and password. And then it goes back to the front page, and then you click in member area in the upper right-hand corner. So when Mary clicked into the member area, this is the first page that she sees, and that's going to be the same for all of you. And one of the key bits of advice I can give you is this blue bar and all of these items up here. When you click on any one of these, this gray bar with the black writing will change. So there's a subcategory for communication. This bar will change. Bulletin will change. Contacts will change again. So we're going to go through a few points of this and hopefully get you well on your way. So this is your first page. If you scroll down on this one, you'll find all kinds of information and pertaining to you and where you can find what you're doing in your club and other activities regarding yourself. So we're going to go into this edit profile button right here. So your personal profile is like any other account that you have online. And you go, I know everybody goes online and figures everything out. So your Amazon account, you click around there until you find the item you want. You make sure that your address is right. You make sure that your, although we don't hold credit card information, you would put your credit card information in there and make sure that you can purchase items as you need them. Same in your Ticketmaster, you figure out how to pay for your concert, and then you figure out where and how you're going to get the tickets. So this is no different. We're just asking you to do a little bit of learning and retaining that information for future usage. So it's the same. You click around until you find out, and then you click around until you find out. That's kind of similar to another saying we like to say, isn't it? You keep it up to information as it changes, like your phone number, or if you move, so that we can keep in contact with you. And then that information flows directly with RI, and that is really easy because the systems talk to each other. And Club Runner is the only program that has been selected to chat with RI. So you can be assured that your information is kept confidential and safe. And we trust Rotary. We are Rotary members. We trust them to keep our information. We trust them to do good work. And as we do good work for Rotary, and your information is secure and it flows automatically. So your personal profile, when you click into it, we're into Mary's here, but this is the big edit button right here, right? With the big red arrow there. And you can update anything that you need to. So maybe you've noticed that you're getting, birthday wishes on the wrong day. Well, maybe somebody put in May 12th instead of December 5th, right? So you just need to go and update this yourself. Make sure that your information is current. You can add your anniversary if you like, or if you have one. So in all of these other websites, and you probably didn't know it, but you are programmers. Every time you put a piece of information into any website, like Ticketmaster, Amazon, Club Runner, anything else that you go onto, you are a programmer. And so what that means is how you program it is the information you'll get back, right? You program it in wrong, you're not going to get your stuff from Amazon. And the computer is only going to know what you put into it too. So here we know that Stephen has a last name Turner. So if you don't put Turner in there, we don't know that. And the computer doesn't know that. So put every little last bit of detail in there that you can so that you aren't frustrated when it doesn't show up on the other end. And I'm going to show you that right now, why that might be important. So obviously scrolling down on this page, you would get to your home address and your work address. I'm sorry, it's not in here too, but just below the home here is, you have to pick your cell phone or home phone, which way you prefer to get contacted. So make sure you click cell phone if that's the only phone number you have, right? And not leave it on home phone. So in that way, again, you're a little bit of a programmer. So just make sure all of those little
Mary,
bits of
or
information.
Charlene, I don't want to,
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you there, Charlene, but your screen isn't moving if you're
No, I know
going to
it's
different
not.
parts of that thing. Okay, all right.
No, I was just saying, if you scroll down on it, I've just done screen captures because I didn't want to disrupt the flow of information. So if you programmed everything on the last page and you've got a spouse, and so we're going to sign up for district conference right here. District conference at the Sandman Signature Lethbridge is happening May 5th and 6th. So a lot of people come to this page and they go, oh my gosh, my information isn't there. What happened to it? Because I've programmed it in the last page. Why isn't it showing up here? You see this option of Club Runner login right here. So you use your username and your password and you sign in, and then all of your information and your partner and guest information, if it's in there, will populate in this area. So you don't have to re-enter that information again. So it's just key, this information follows you. So if you've done it and then you sign in where it asks you to, it will populate. And then you can just sign up easily for events like the district conference is coming up. So, and if you haven't signed up, here's your reminder. So like I was saying, the information flows from Club Runner to RI. And this is called the RI integration. I'm under this button right here, RI integration. And that's a few people in the club have access to that. If you don't have access to that, let me know, because I can add you on that. And then you can keep your information current with RI. So as you can see, we've got Club Runner information on the left and Rotary International information on the right. And these arrows indicate if information was to go back and forth, what would be populated to the other. The equal signs means everything is the same. And we don't really need to necessarily mess with that information. So RI has Elizabeth for her middle name. Club Runner has E. If we wanted to make that equal, E would go to Rotary International currently with that orange arrow. if we click on the orange arrow, it would go back to Club Runner, and then Elizabeth would come over to Club Runner. So in that way, we can balance all that information and make it similar on both sides of the equation. So I get a lot of people asking about club communication. Now, if you go back up to the top here, club communication is the third one on the blue, and email services was the first one on the gray lines. So you can see how that's changed from the last couple of slides that we were on. So then we're in the services, we can click manage emails, and these are Mary's emails. So she's quite busy. She's got a lot of drafts going on, some empty subject lines, and then some others with some subject lines. You can clean these up at any time. You can click on the draft box beside it, and there's a at the bottom, there's a delete button. So right now it says show all my emails right here in the grade. But if you click show all emails, you'll be able to see all emails in your club. So whatever other people have been sending as well, and their drafts as well will come up. And it's recommended to clean these up and keep it current. And if you don't need some of these, then you can certainly delete them. So sorry, before I move on, see this second one here, edit custom distribution lists right here. So that's what I'm clicking on next. And custom distribution lists are helpful in a club, and they also need to be updated and cleaned up sometimes too, because what I noticed here in this club is that they've got quite a few email distribution lists. I think they've got quite a few, over 50. And some of them probably aren't relevant anymore. And so you can see some of these old ones like from 2015 and 2012. The New Generations Committee is probably not the same, but it can be updated. International Service Committee, probably not the same. Also be cleaned up. Club Golf Committee can probably be updated or cleaned up, but it is good to have. What they've done here is some of them have the years that they were activated. So we know that's not current, and we can probably just go ahead and delete that or clean it up somehow or update it. So that's email distribution list. So in general, you use this to communicate with your club members, but recently Club Runner also added the feature to contact other clubs in your district. I'm very excited about this. You all should be too. Because you can contact other club executives and directors. So if you're looking for another club president, you click on the the custom distribution lists are there. Club executives and directors. So presidents, there's 48 clubs in our district. So if you expand, if you click on that expansion button, you can, they come up as in the club. So you want to contact every club. It's this is the pop-up screen exactly how you would see it, and it would just come up on your screen. So now we can contact Scott Bell of Airdrie or Jim Fitzowich at Calgary Stampede Park. And that was the presidents that I clicked on. You can see presidents here. So if I clicked on co-president or president-elect, you might want to contact your next group, treasurers or secretaries. So that's a really great feature you can use to connect with other clubs in the district. You don't have to wonder where they are. It's all right here. And the great thing about Club Runner is then, of course, your emails are saved in here and you can go back and refer to them. So there's the pop-up list again, and you just have to scroll down and find your person, or simply click on all presidents if that's what you want to do. The other great thing, the next great thing that I want to talk about is organization. See, organization, this is the 6th one on here, or 7th. And then the gray one changed, and we're under documents now. So executive directors over to documents. So the other great question I get is, where do we store all of these documents? Right here. Your storage capacity with Club Runner is unlimited, and you can put everything here. So your board minutes, anything for administration, your charter documents, grant applications, and follow-up reporting should definitely be here. If this is the only thing you put on Club Runner, grant stuff, so that you can file it for the 5 years that is required. And as per grant regulations, district grant regulations. And then you can create your own file system within any one of these file folders. So you can label your grants, you can put all the documents in there, you can put all your receipts in there, your follow-up photos. The only thing that doesn't allow is video files, which would be too large in the end, but certainly there's a lot of documentation that you can house here. So, and then keep it up to date, and then nobody has to ask anybody else, where's the information? It is right here and easily accessible. I know making a web page is really scary and ominous, but at the top here on the blue line, we're now over at website, and we're going to go to designer home. And these templates are simply plug and play. They've been designed by Rotary International and available on Club Runner to just do that, plug and play. So the history of Rotary is here. You don't need to change anything there unless you want to add something about your club. You've got a flagship events. You want to add this to your district, like some of our clubs in the district do this, and edit it as available. Goodbye polio. If you want to do a polio webpage, contact us. So these are all just really easy, manageable, easy to edit, and then able to add to your website. So Club Runner's come a long way in making it more accessible to average everyday users. So we're really excited to have these. I've used a number of these on the district website, and you can go ahead and have a look at what I've done. But it really didn't take a lot of time to edit and post. Just over to reports. I see there's someone in the chat. I'll get to that in a minute. I'm almost done. Reports up in the blue bar here. And then you become in your gray bar, you get all kinds of little reports here. So go ahead and click on them. You can check out years of service, age distribution, gender distribution, the rule of 85. If you don't know what that is, your age plus the years you've served. If it's over 85 is the rule of 85. Birthdays and anniversaries. If you're a club executive, you would see the birthday and month. So age distribution and membership success dashboard. I don't know too many clubs that are using this, but the more you're involved in a club, the more activity points you can get. And each club can update these to be how many points for whatever activity you're assigning it to. And you can gather points. So in that way, keep people engaged. And maybe there's a reward at the end of the year. There's so many points gets, I don't know, $5 Tim's gift certificate, or whatever you deem appropriate for that. But it is an interesting way to keep activity and interest in the club and activities that you're managing. Oh, that is it. Yes. Okay, so I'll check out the chat and then we'll open it up. Oh, thank you. No, that's not me. That's 905. Okay, so new messages, or unmute yourself and ask questions. And we just have a couple of minutes. I didn't realize that was going to be so long.
Charlene, can you tell me where authorities are designated on Club Runner? Like we have a new executive coming in, and I understand they have different levels of authority in Club Runner. How is that updated?
When when new members are assigned, so, organized under, it would be under organization on the top, and then you would assign, for this year, you would assign incoming president, and then you would click to next year and then assign the categories or all the, um, the president, the secretary, the treasurer and stuff, and you have to list it out every year. So as soon as you assign that, they are automatically updated with new levels of authority. So as soon as you put in that the person is club president-elect, they get better authority. And then everything switches over on July 1, as that's what Club Runner does. If you put them in here now and then it updates at RI, the incoming executive get better access, and they'll be able to put in their club goals for next year and to add more information about their upcoming year at RI. Hopefully that answers your question. Anybody else? All right, hearing none. You're now experts at programmers for Club Runner, and I wish you well for your upcoming year. And thanks so much for attending today. Really appreciate it. And who's on deck? Joyce?
Hi, yeah, it's Joyce. Somebody was supposed to have my PowerPoint. I'm not sure who it was. Kurt was
Okay, do you have it available, or let me stop sharing my screen?
I'd have to pull it up.
Okay, just a second. I didn't have it, and
I should have pulled it up as backup.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks, Sarah. Oh, hi, Sarah. Yeah. Gordon, yeah, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Marlene, ditto. Thank you. You're welcome too. Oh, stop share. Jesus, it's only a big red button in front of me, right? Uh, uh,
While I'm going to pull this up and hopefully it's everyone can be able to see it. However, I did send the a copy of it out to everyone. Since the last session, my computer crashed. And let's see.
Charlene and Mary, I have it if you want to share a screen with me and I can put it up.
oh, yeah, okay, great.
That would be wonderful.
Sorry, who was that said that?
That's Martin Buckley.
Sure.
Okay.
Hmm.
As I said, I sent this out to everyone. I would have regardless, but especially since the had problems with the computer. So we'll, since we
Okay,
don't
Martin,
have
you're able to share. Let's go ahead and do
Okay.
that.
I've got it up on my screen. Is it on yours?
No, you have to go ahead and share. Bottom of the screen is a green share button, share screen,
Okay.
and then pick the item.
Here.
Appreciate that, Martin.
No problem. So just tell me when you want me to change
thank you.
slides.
Yes, I'll just let you know on that. I'm still going to share this with you. And I think that's a really good description of the secretary. You can change slides for me. So we'll roughly go over the responsibilities. Club runner are a few things that Charlene was not able to cover, and then resources, which I think is very important. Next screen, please. Okay, some of this related to the previous session, but an important thing to remember is because the district website is integrated with Rotary International, and as Charlene said, it's the only one that is, because there are other systems out there, that with the Rotary Secretary Basics, there's a lot of reference to integration, and that can be ignored. So go to the next screen, please. So the role and responsibilities of the district secretary vary quite a bit. And from club to club, this varies. If the larger the club, the more this is delegated out. One of the key things to remember is that the club runner membership records are up to date December 31st and June 30th, because that's what the reports for dues are based on, both at RI level and also at the district level. Next slide, please. And if you have any questions in between, please let me know. And one of the things that was shown in the previous slide was the minute book. And I think Charlene also covered that, or it's on the club runner screen, and we'll talk briefly about that. Most of this stuff is straightforward. I was tempted to add on number 17, sundry duties as assigned. And with what Doug McDonald mentioned, that the club protection officer is one role that could be added to the club secretary position. So next slide, please. On this slide, I listed where you start from on the website, and each topic you should be looking for. And it's a good reference for that. Next slide, please. So this is Pincher Creek Club, which is what I'm a member of. Rotary member number will be, that would be assigned by Rotary International. Date, join club, and integration options. I have to double check on this because I don't believe we need to enter it, but I'll check. Now, this stuff is pretty straightforward, but this is all the lines that you do have to fill out. Next slide, please. Again, this is straightforward information. And when you have it completed, make sure you click on the bottom right-hand side, the add member. And next slide, please. And we're going through these fairly quickly because we have shortened time, as we all know. So deleting a member, and this one I had to double check on because it is harder to find. going to your district website or member area or the club website, administration, for club executives, you have a list of active members, and then you want to change status, and that is on the right side, and you want to terminate. There's a couple other options on that, but it's the terminate membership that you want to do. Next slide, please. And then updating next year's executives. This was mentioned before with Charlene as to how to update next year's executives. You're going to your member area, the administration, and on certain websites, or when you pick it up, it will either have old or classic is the ones you want to go to. Again, you check down to members, active members list, then the district clubs and membership, and then you edit your executives and directors, your club, and then define next year's executive. You choose your options there. So these are for reference purposes, how you get to those sites. We'll go to the next one, please. So this is Pincher Creek. Our current executive is listed, and you have the year 22-23, and you would, once you're at this page, you would click on to next year, and then you would, if any of these are changing, in our case, in our club, we're small, so we won't be changing any. But if you change the names on them, so you will do the editing or deletion if required. If you wanted to see what your executive was last year, you click on that. But in our case, we're carrying on next year. If we want to add a new position, you can add it there. Again, fairly straightforward, but it's getting there and doing the clicking on the next year. And again, if there's no changes, you just carry on next year. And as Charlene said, it allows you to the next year's executive to have access, better access to Club Runner and to my Rotary site. Okay, next, and please. This page, I think, really is an important one. It gives you how to access the various sites and contact people. So we've got my Rotary. From there, you can go to my the brand center. Rotary merchandise. Some of the new secretaries coming on board don't know where to look or where we get our products from, like pins and new members kits, that sort of thing. So the Canadian merchandise supplier is CRS Marketing. However, I put down the USA, the Russell Hampton. I have found that there are certain items that you cannot find on CRS Marketing. Russell Hampton has a broader product range. And when I was district secretary, like past district governor pins were a better selection under Russell Hampton. You're dealing with the exchange rate, but it can be better. So that's both of them. So you've got otherwise you've got your district administrator, which you all know is Charlene. The Rotary District International, a lot of people aren't aware that we have a contact with Rotary International where Charlene or even myself can answer your question, and you can contact Sophia or Sophie directly, and she'll be able to help you with any problems that you have there. That's a good one to have handy. I've got my name there. I have both been district secretary, and I have done the sets training in the past. You're always free to get hold of me anytime, better by email, because I'm going to be out of country for about 3.5 months coming up, but I'm always available through the email. Another important contact is your assistant governor. Since we have 12 of them in the district, you need to find out who they are. And while they are your president's main contact, I have found and I'm also assistant governor this year, that I have a couple clubs that that only the club secretaries respond to my emails. So it doesn't hurt to have a relationship with your assistant governor as well as your club president. They're also, rather than have to go through your club president on occasion, you can go directly to your assistant governor. They're a good resource person. Now, I have added, and next couple pages will have examples of the first part of the page, and as well as the club manual. The Rotary terminology / dictionary is something we developed a few years ago. We found that a lot of people, there's so much jargon and acronyms that it's hard to understand them all. So we went through and provided a list, which is on the district website, but it has been updated. And even today, I've got 2 new ones that I will add to that. It's a good resource. I had one club that I visited this last week. They had a new member. It's all the jargon confuses them. So it went out and it's going to all their club members. Hopefully we'll get Charlene to update it on the district website. I had just acronyms. I added some definitions of what Interact, Rotaract actually are. Hopefully that'll be a useful tool too. And we'll show the first page of it in a moment. Club manual is something that you may find handy for your club members so that they know what's going on. There's a bit of an overlap with the terminology. And then we did a prospective member manual, and that's just an abbreviation of the club manual. And that is something that, again, is a tool for your membership committee and can be handed out or sent out to prospective members so that they have a better idea what they're getting into. So can we go to the next slide, please? This is the first part of the terminology section. As you can see, and of course is in alphabetical order. So you've got what the AGM at the district level and both at the club level. And the one at the club level is supposed to be held prior to December 31st. That's a good thing to remember, and it can be held as a regular meeting on that. One thing that is, when I make that comment, you still have to have a separate meeting, but it can be done sort of within the other meeting. So you would close out your regular meeting and then open up your AGM. Then when you finish your AGM, you go back to your regular meeting. That's what small clubs do. I'm not sure the larger clubs, but it just means that you don't have to have one meeting totally devoted to that. We've got our areas of focus, the classification system, and they go on. Again, it's a tool if you choose to use it. I think it's about a 4-page document, and I did send it out with the attachments. And if we can go to the next page, please. This is the cover page of the members handbook and orientation guide. This is the sections that we've put in on it. And we also, I don't think we put it in here, is the club year. And we thought it was important to have what is important to the club and to the Rotary International and the district every month. So we've just done from July to June, and we've included everything. Especially your new members don't always know, and sometimes your existing members don't know when events are done within the club. It can be a very useful tool. One thing I should have mentioned is the minute book. It was pointed out on the Club Runner, but it's a useful tool. And when you set it up, it does take a little bit of time, but it's well worth it. Historically, it has value if you ever want to know what the club had decided on, especially if the issue comes up a secondary time. And it's just the date it was approved, what was included, or what the motion was. Sometimes you want to put who made the motion and who's it's once you've got it set up, it's important to keep it going. But it, as I said, it's we did that at the district level, and we had to go back quite a length of time to put it all in. But it was proved to be very beneficial, and that's why we did it to begin with, is because it was beneficial. So let's go to the last one, please. And I like this quote: if at first you don't succeed, try doing what the secretary told you to do the first time. It's a little tongue-in-cheek, but it also, you are the resource person for the club. And you're also a resource person for the your club president. There are times when he's going to rely on you for information that he does not have at his fingertips. So if there's questions, as I said, I did it very quickly. Let's have a look if there's any questions. And let's see, we have Charlene. I guess there's only one question. Is there any other, is there any questions from the group at all?
Do you want me to stop sharing?
Yeah, you can, I think you can stop sharing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, just go ahead
So
and
if
unmute
there's no-
yourself if you want to ask a question of either Joyce or I. I'll give you half a minute to do that.
Well, I'll ask the facetious question. Is Sophie Dangerfield related to the Rodney? She doesn't get any respect.
Yeah, she's not related to Rodney. She's funny though. She's a good girl to work with. She definitely helps us at district. There's also a couple of other contacts, like contact@rotary.org. It goes into a help center, and they can assist you probably better than Sophie can in relation to a lot of Membership inquiries, just give them everything that you know about the person or yourself. Your first name, last name, membership number, club, and club number, and then ask your questions so that they're able to match you to your file and then provide a really helpful answer.
Charlene, could you send me those contacts? I'll update my page and then I can send that out to everyone.
Sure.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
If-
Yeah. Think we're good to go.
Yeah, if we're done, thank you very much. Thank you for your patience. Lots of luck in your year. And let's go back to the main room. Thank you.